everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you what we received in the October Sophie and Toffee Elves box, as well as showing you how to make an ocean seascape using resin and other supplies included in the box. So this month we received some epoxy resin with a 1:1 ratio, some new Sophie and Toffee pigments, disposable gloves and a silicone spatula, pouring and mixing plastic cups, a wooden coaster board, 2 different thicknesses of tape, and then the premium items included are a wooden frame and easel, large and small seashells, green moss, star sand, iridescent glitter, and then finally some more epoxy resin. So to begin, I took the wooden coaster board and some UV resin, which I spread over the board to kind of seal it before adding the epoxy resin. Because this is UV resin, I used my UV lamp to harden it. Next, I took the thin tape and I wrapped it around the outside, and this is going to act like a barrier so that the resin doesn't overflow. Now it's time to make a mixture of epoxy resin which has a 1:1 ratio, so you need to mix equal parts. I took a plastic cup from the box and I measured the 2 parts out using a scale. I started off with using 16 grams of each part, but I ended up going back and adding some more because I didn't think there would be enough liquid. I then used the silicone spatula that came in the box to mix the 2 parts together, and you want to keep mixing your epoxy resin until it goes cloudy and then clear again. I then divided the resin mixture up into 5 smaller cups and began mixing in the pigments for the seascape. I used all the coloured pigments that came in the box, and then for my centre colour I kind of wanted a teal, so I mixed a mixture of white pigment as well as a mint liquid pigment that I already had from a previous Elves box. Once all the pigments were mixed in, I began pouring them onto the wooden coaster. So I started off with the sand down the bottom, and then I began putting on the blues for the ocean, and I just did little parts at a time to make sure that it wouldn't overflow and that I accidentally put too much on. I used a toothpick to try and blend the blues together a little bit more, and then I just put 1 line of white between the sand and the teal colour. Then I let the whole thing cure overnight for 24 hours. For the next layer, I'm going to be making the waves, so I made another mixture of my epoxy resin by measuring out equal parts and then mixing them together. I poured some of the clear mixture onto the coaster and spread it around so that it was touching the edges. Then with the remaining mixture, I mixed in some white pigment. I then poured this white pigment over top of the previous white line that I had made, and then I got my hairdryer and turned it on and tried to spread the resin around. As you can see, I accidentally poured way too much resin onto the coaster and it overflowed a lot, so I ended up having to scrape a lot off and cleaning it up around the edges, but I just kind of kept blowing it around with the hairdryer and fixing it up enough until I was kind of happy with how it looked and how the resin was spreading out. As you can see, it's not perfect, so definitely put on less resin than you think you initially need. Again, I let this piece harden overnight for 24 hours, and then this is what it ended up looking like. I'm pretty happy with how the way the waves turned out, considering I messed up the process a little bit. Next, you just need to peel off the tape around the outside, and then I took some UV resin and I put it around over top to dome it and make it nice and shiny. In that same layer of UV resin, I also placed some of the seashells down the bottom in the sandy coloured part, and then I added some of the star sand that came in the box, and then I just kind of sprinkled it around the area. Then because I'm using UV resin, I again took my UV lamp and I cured it. So this is what my finished resin seascape looks like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for lots more crafty videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!